Now in this video series we are learning about the Flutter, and in this particular video I am going to teach you a very important thing, which is the form. As might be you know that in every application, each and every application, there must be requirement of registration or login. For that you must require a form registration. So let's just create one form which is validating the arguments which we pass as a name or login parameters. Let give me a demo which kind of thing we are going to develop. As you can see here, this kind of thing we are going to develop. Here is a Flutter demo. After that we have one icon over here. After that one text field. As I put arrow over here, as you can see, this is the hint. Enter your first name and last name, and name is our label. As like that, as you can see, whenever I click this name, there is keyboard, and whenever I click this dot, as you can see, this is part is changed to a only digital only keyboard. We are going to see how to do that part. As you can see, I touch over the phone number. This 0+ is indicated over here. As I put email, to type an email, basic keyboard is given over here, and here I used, as you can see, this is the drop down menu. One can select over here a red, and as I put a submit, the value will be printed on this console. Let's just start how to create this all form fields. For that, first of all, inside this body we are going to use as you can see, we first of all created a scaffold in which we have one app bar and we have a text. We get the title, which is defaultly is a Flutter demo homepage. After that we have one body part over here. Inside this body part we are going to create, let's just create first a safe area so that we can enter values in it. I'm going to create safe area. If you don't know about safe area, then don't worry, it's just providing a base to write a good UI over here. As you can see, this is the safe area where we are writing everything. Here this safe area required one child, and we also are going to give some values as a false. As we are going to not going to use this the top as a false, so that we are not going to use the top. After that we are not going to use the bottom also, so I am also providing false to the bottom. And after that, as we provided top and bottom as a false, as a child, here we are going to create a form. To create a form you have to use one, as you can see, as I used here a child as a form. Inside here we are going to put everything which we provided over here inside this form tag. So be careful and follow me over here with your computers. First of all, inside this form we are going to provide auto validation. Gee friends, whenever anyone submit this button, all the validation of this text fields perform automatically. So I am going to use for that auto validation is true, because I want to auto validate everything. So I am providing auto validation true, and inside this form we are going to use one child. As you can see, this is all in a linear form and same as a list view. So I want to use here a child as a list view, as a common view. Let's just use list view, and we are going to provide each and everything inside this list view as a text form field. As you can see, first is a name text field, after that date of birth and phone number, email, and one drop down menu. For that, inside this list view, before creating its child, I want to provide some padding over here, and inside this padding, this will be constant, it's not going to change, so I am providing constant. After that we have edge inside dot all, but I don't want to use all, I want to use symmetric, so I can get all the symmetric values inside this horizontal. So I have to pass horizontal, and I want a 6 logical pixel each and every direction of horizontal. Now let's just create child of this list view, so that as you can see here we have a child, and after that we have a widgets. I'm removing this space so then it can look better. Now inside this widget we are going to provide 1 2 3 4 5 and one button, means so total 6 items we are going to provide inside this widget. First of all, first widget is our text field. As you can see, a text form field widget, which first of all we are going to provide. Here we are going to provide as you can see 1 2 3 4 text field widget. Let's first create this first form field widget. Inside this, if you can see here, as I'm clicking here, some animation is performed. To do and allow this animation, we have to use one decoration over here, and inside this, name of this decoration is input decoration. And first of all, inside this decoration, as you can see, first I am providing one icon, and after that I am getting a value. So that here I am going to take on one icon over here, and in icon it's not going to change, so I am going to use a constant, and after this constant I am going to provide value of icon. Let me just provide value of icon, sorry friends, capital icon, and inside this we have to provide a data, so I am providing icons dot, and that's a symbol of person, so I want a symbol of person. As you can see, now I have one icon over here as icon dot person, and after that I want a text field, and inside this text field I am providing hint text, and as you can see here is a hint text is enter your first and last name. So inside here I'm going to provide enter your first and last name, and after hint I have also used one label over here, so I am providing label text, and inside this label text, as we used name, so I am here also providing a name. As you can see here, a label text is a name. Now we are completed with our first text form field. After that, now we are going to create one new text form field for date of birth. Now we are going to use another text form field. Inside this text form field, we are going to create another decoration, and inside this decoration we are going to provide an icon of calendar. As you can see, I provided icon of calendar over here, so let me just copy this part from here so that we can save our time. Now as you can see, we just have to change this from icons dot, as you can see, a calendar today. I'm going to use here a calendar today, and here in a hint we are going to provide enter your birth date, and here we are going to provide, sorry friends, here is comma, not a semicolon, and inside this label we are going to provide DOB, date of birth, as we provided over here DOB. Now we also completed this text form field as a DOB, but as you mentioned, whenever I click this, the keyboard will change. To perform this action, you have to provide a keyboard type, and for that, inside this text form field we are going to use keyboard type, and as a keyboard type we are going to provide over here as a text input type, not a number with option, we are going to just provide only a number, type dot, and here we are going to provide a date time, because it's a database, oh sorry, not a database, it's a date of birth, so that we have to use this date of time over here. After that completion of this text form field, we are going to create another text form field with like this. Let me just copy it to save our time. Now inside this text decoration we have to remove this, and as you can see, this is for mobile phone, so we are going to use here one phone. As you can see, this is the phone, and after that, as a hint, we used, as you can see, enter a phone number, so we are going to provide enter a phone number, and over here we used phone, so I'm going to use phone. Now as you can see, we completed our another text form field with this phone, but here the keyboard type is not a date time. Here we also require this keyboard type as a phone, so they can enter value as a phone number. So here a keyboard type is a text input dot phone number. As you can see, whenever I'm clicking here, this is for date of birth, date time, and this is for a mobile phone decoration. Now to format our input formatters to validate only a digits, we also have to use one more action over here, which is named as input formatter. As you can see, here is an input formatter we have to pass our input formatter inside this square brushes, and as I want to use here while formatter, and I am to provide dot digit only, so that they can only provide a digit inside here. As you can see here is an error is coming. To resolve this error, we have to import something over here. So import package, not a char code. Here we have to use service dart, flutter services dot dart, and to remove this error, let's just first of all remove it again and try to write again. As you can see, while listing test input formatter, now we have over here, and as you provide dot, as you can see here a digit only is visible. Now all error will be resolved. Friends, you have to, if you want to validate, then you must have to include this services dot dart method. Now we provided an input formatter that we only want digit as a input from over here. Now let's just create another field, and for that field we are going to take argument as email. So let's just copy paste it again, and exception of this calendar, I want an email. So I am providing over here email, and I am providing enter email. Sorry friends, enter email address, and here we just going to provide an email. Now this is not a date time, just remove this date time. Over here we have to use a email address, so dot email address. Now our keyboard is set to the email address, and after that all. Now friends, the important topic is now going on to include any drop down menu inside this form. This is the very important or crucial thing to remember how to do that. For that, as you can see, I have one list of this color red, green, blue, orange. So first of all, here we have to define one string array. Inside that string array, we are going to provide that values. But instead of string, we are going to use list of string. Now over here, we are going to pass string, and this string is going to get a colors equals to, and we explicitly tell them this is the string type colors. Firstly, we are going to provide red. After that, let's just provide green. After that, let's just provide a gray. Sorry friends, not G, H, it's a G, gray. And after that, black. Now as you can see, now we have this list of colors over here, and after this list of colors, we are going to create one string is equals to, and we are going to provide a same name to that, underscore color equals to, and in double bracket I am just providing an empty so that we can assign. As you can see, I provided whenever I clicked on it, there is one or more empty over here. Whenever I click on another one, that will be selected. So first empty is provided, so I am providing it as a empty. And friends, let's just provide here are two global keys which we are going to use in our project. If you don't know about that, then please do search on global keys or watch my previous videos on global key. Here we require a global key of form state. We require a global key of, as you can see here, a form state, and we are going to name it as a form key. It's equals to global key, and this is also we are going to provide it as a form state. Sorry friends, capital form, as you can see, state. We are going to use this form state to pass inside this form. So in here you have to provide key, and inside this key you have to provide underscore form key, so that this global key is connected to this form. Now as we created one form key, we also have to create one more global key which is named as scaffold state, and we are going to name it as underscore scaffold key is equals to global key, and here also we have to provide scaffold state. Friends, this scaffold state we also have to mention with this our scaffold app bar area. So over here you have to provide a key, and I want to provide underscore scaffold key. So now this scaffold key which connected to this scaffold. Friends, whenever we are going to use this text forms field, and if you want to get a control over that, you must have to require one controller. For that you have to use final, and as we are going to use controller of text editing controller, and we are going to name it as underscore is equals to, and we have to just assign a constructor of this text editing controller. As you can see, how we just created this text editing controller. Now let's just create our next form over here. As you can see, now we completed with our email. Now we want to create this drop down menu. To create this drop down menu, we are going to just use a new form, and if you want to use the new form and you don't want this text field, you have to give it as a name of text field. As you can see, now we have our text field, and inside this text field we have to provide just our builder over here, and let's just complete our this form field. Inside this builder we are going to pass our form field state. Inside this we are going to provide, just remember this name friends, form field, and as you can see here a form field state, form field state which we are going to pass, and we are going to name it as a state, and inside this we are going to create our everything inside here. Inside this form field state, let's first of all return one decoration, and inside this decoration, as you can see, we have to pass here. As you can see, now all error will be resolved. Now let's create decoration. First of all, inside this decoration we are going to provide an input decoration. Sorry friends, we have to provide input capital I in. As you can see, now we can provide an input decoration over here, and inside this input decoration, first of all, as you can see, we provided one icon. So let's just create one icon over here, icon, and inside this we are going to use icons dot, and for that we are going to use icon of color, and inside this we want color lens. As you can see, we provided over here a lens of this color, and after this icon we just provided one label inside this as a color. So let me provide a label text, and inside this label text I just provided here a color, as you can see. So I'm providing a color. Now I completed with basic decoration. Let's just give one full decoration inside this input decoration. After this input decoration we are going to provide one more thing, is empty or not. Let's just check is empty. Which field we want to check? Which is underscore color, which we build over here. As you can see, I created over here a one string underscore color is equals to null. Let's see which kind of error is giving that it's not comparable. So first of all you have to compare it. Is empty, it's going to provide underscore color equals to empty. That means it's returning true. So is empty is going to return over here a true. As it return a true, we are going to create one child over here. Sorry friends, one child of it, and inside this child we are going to create a drop down menu. In my previous videos I told you how to create a drop down button. If you don't know how to create, then please check it out my previous videos, and in this video I am directly going to use it. as a drop down button, and I am going to use hide underline because I don't want underline over here. So I am going to create it as a hide underline, and inside here as a child we have to pass drop down menu items. Before that we have to assign some values to this drop down button. First of all we have to assign values to this, which is nothing but a drop down button of this drop down hide underline. So that we are going to use drop down button, as you can see here, drop down button, and this drop down button required two things. First, which is items. After that, what we have to do if some changes are made. So first of all we are going to assign values, and inside this we are going to assign value of our color. After that, this color we are going to provide, as you can see we have many options, is extended, is dance. We are going to provide this dance as a true because we want to as a dance, and whenever onChange method is called we are going to use some value in it as a string. We are going to provide it has a new value, and we are going to assign this new value to underscore color equals to new value. Now we just created our onChanged function. After let's just create this items. As I told you in my previous video of drop down button, here in items we have to provide drop down menu items which are periodically provided. As you can see over here, red, green, this will be provided inside this items. And for that, now friends, this onChange method is going to create string new values inside this color, but I can't use this directly. I have to create one new state each time. So I have to use one more method over here, which is set, which is named as set state, and inside this we have to pass, friends, this value, and remove this from here. Now as you can see we have a set state method over here. Let's just see expected the to remove this error, just put a column over here. Now you can see all error will be resolved. Now whenever anything will be changed, as you can see, as I click green, the green printed over here. As I am orange printed over here. For that, this set state calling this build method again and again of only a drop down button, not a whole build method. That's what you have to must remember. After that, let's just create this items. Before that, we are going to use some values inside that. Inside this underscore color equal to new value. After that, we are going to create items of underscore colors list. I also taught you how to do that in my previous drop down button video. For that, we are going to use here a map, and inside this map we are going to pass one string value, and inside this we are going to create our logic. As you know that this map is not returning list, so I have to provide a toList method to resolve this error, so that these items can take a list as a menu item button listener. Now inside this menu we have to return drop down menu items. Inside this drop down menu items we have to provide child, as well as we also have to provide value, and this value is nothing but a value which we are passing over here inside this map, which we have to provide over here. Now here, to remove this error, just put a semicolon, sorry, a colon over there. After that, we have to create a child. To create a child, we are going to provide a text, and this text is nothing but our value, so that it will be printed when we are clicking on our drop down menu. Now as you can see, we completed all the things. We have created drop down menu, we have assigned value to our set state function, and after all of that we are going to create one more thing. After inside this we get, just close over here, and here we are going to provide one container inside this container we are going to provide one submit button so that we can submit our things. And to give a better look, we are going to use padding, just add a space and use edge insets, and I want to provide it only left and top, so I am using left, and left as a 40 pixel, 14.0 pixel logical pixel, and I just want to provide on top as a 20 pixel. Let me give 22 pixel. As I have just provided a container, a basic layout, let's just provide a child over here, child, and inside this child I want to create new rise button, and on pressed, whenever someone press this button, I want to call underscore submit. I'm going to give you logic why I used this submit. I just creating the method over here. I am going to implement it later. Inside this we have to provide some text. To provide text we also use one more child, and inside this text we are going to provide submit so that we can get this submit button. Now we have this submit button. On press method is going to call this submit button. Now all the thing which is remaining is this underscore submit button. Inside this submit button, whenever someone call this submit button, friends, first of all we required one class which is going to take all these arguments, which is we are going to call it as a contact, and inside this contact we are going to use some string values. As the first is a name, after that, sorry friends, now another one is a DOB, which is our date of birth. After that, as you can see, name, date, or now we have our phone number. After that, string, we have our email. After onwards, we have our string and it's an color. And if you do not want to get any error, then just give value as a empty string so that you do not get any error that this value is previously null. Now to store data of this class from this form object, first of all we have to create contact constructor. For that underscore we call it as a new contact equals to, and let's just provide a constructor contact. Now all the values of the constructor we are going to keep inside this contact. For that, whenever someone, let's just resolve this error. Which kind of error is throwing is here we just put at this data. Let's just remove this data from here. Now all error will be resolved. Now as you can see here, we want to create data inside this new contact. So we have one important method inside this decoration. Here we have one onsaved method. Whenever we are going to save this form, this onsaved method of this text form field is called, and which is take one argument as a value. And now we are going to use that contact object underscore new contact, and we are going to set dot, as we provided name. As you can see, we have here 4 field to set, 4 to 5 fields. So inside that, this form field, I am going to provide this as a value. Now let's just copy this and put it everywhere. Just change this name to its an DOB, so I am providing DOB. As you can see over here, sorry, but this is throwing an error that because I provided D small over here. So just change from capital to small and our error will be resolved. Now inside this next parameter, just provide another one, and this is the phone number. and inside this is our email. So I'm changing from name to this email, and this onsaved method is throwing error because we do not put any column or comma over here, so put just one comma everywhere. Now the all error will be resolved, but we have one special requirement over here, because inside this everywhere we have a onsaved method, but for this drop down menu we do not have any kind of onsaved method. Then how do we going to put the data of this drop down menu inside this our object whenever someone save the state? So to remove this error or remove this solution of this product, we are going to change everything inside this set state object. Whenever someone set new state, at that moment we are going to create that part underscore new contact dot, and inside this we are going to provide a color is equals to, and this color will be is a new value. So let's just save it again, and now we have all the things ready. We just have to print that data of this class, which is we are going to do inside this submit button. But inside this submit button we required a form state key, and for that we are going to use underscore form, and let's just first of all get a reference of that form state, and which name of this is I'm going to provide as form is equals to, as we created earlier, underscore form key. If you remember, then we just created a underscore form key. Let me here, as you know that I am just using this form key, it's giving me an error because this submit button is outside of this build method. To remove this error, I just have to get this all the thing, copy from here, and I'm going to put them over here so that my error will be resolved. I also doing that part from this also, and I'm just saving this part. Now as you can see, now that's an outside of it, so I can use underscore. Now its form key is available, form key dot current state, which I am saving inside this form state, because I want to first of all check that this is the validate or not. Form dot I am going to use validate, and if not validating successfully, then here I am going to provide one message as a show message, which method I am going to build in a next moment, and I am going to print there form is not valid, and if all the things in go well, then in else part. Friends, as I told you, whenever we saved this form, then and then these onsaved functions are called. So inside here we have to first of all call form dot save by this form state, so that all onsaved method is called, and after that I am going to print everything on console. How to print everything on console? Let me follow over here. First I am going to inform that form is saved dot 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 dot. After that I am going to print the data. For that, here inside this I am going to first of all call is a name, and inside that if you want to print anything you have to use this expression dollar, and as I created an object of this underscore new contact dot, we want to print this name. Let's just copy this part, and now we just completed all the things over here. Now at last I am just printing we are done. Now as we have an object of this contact, we also can upload the details of this registration to any kind of database, Firebase, SQLite, as I previously teach you. Now it's time to create this show message method. How to create this? Let's just follow me. And as it's giving an error, to resolve this error, it's going to give you implement this method over here. And inside this method, I am going to create one. As we created underscore scaffold key, I am going to use that dot. We are going to get current state dot. After that, we are going to use a snake bar to print it. And after that, inside this, it's giving an error, but I try to resolve this error first. Inside this, we have to use snack bar, and this snack bar require a content, and this content is nothing but our s string which we are passing at upside. Now our snack bar is ready. Inside this snack bar, let's see, string can't be assigned to the vget, so that we have to use a vget as a test, and inside that we are going to pass our string. Now you can see our error will be resolved, but one error is there. We are using snack bar, use this comma so that all error will be resolved. So this snack bar. Now let's just run this code again. This is our previous code. Now let first of all clear me out our emulator. Run this code. I'm running this code as you can see over here. If any error is there, we are going to resolve that error. As you can see, Gradle task is building the Gradle. It's giving me an error to this. Sorry, we just forgot to press colon over here. Let's just build this context again. We have error over here because yes, I provided colon instead of this. Sorry, I provided semicolon instead of this colon. Let's just run this code again. Now it's installing our APK. Let's see the part over here. It's providing error here downside that items is equals to null, but everything is working perfectly. As you can see here, only error is there inside our code of drop down menu items. Let's resolve first of all that part. Now let's solve this error. This error is giving, as you can read over here, it's giving a dynamic error that the form field is not identify the default value of that part in our color part. As you can see inside this list, we defaultly providing value of color to empty, but this empty we do not included inside this our color list. So to resolve this error, we just have to include a empty string inside this color list so that it can identify it dynamically. Let's just run this code again, and let's just see. As you can see, our application restarted successfully, so no error is there. Now the drop down button is also working properly. Let's just give value to our, as you can see, as we used a text field and a label and anything a hint, so it's providing name as a label, and inside that we have our hint over here. Let's just provide name. Let me give my name, Namish. After that, we have to provide our birth date. Let me provide random birth date. And inside that, as I'm calling this phone, it's give me a keyword to the phone as we provided in our while listening list. Let me give random code over here. And this is the phone number and this is the email. Let me give just ramble. And as we provided a text formatter as an email, we have to provide this @ After that, let's provide gmail.com, and at last let's just select one color, and color let's select gray, and just click this submit button. Now as you can see inside this submit part, let me just show you again. We just validate that. If it's not validating, then print follow form is not validating, but if it's validating successfully, then it's going to create every time a save message, and inside that we printed the value of this contact object. And as you can see, the name is Namish as we have mentioned, and let me just show you which I provided. And as you can match over here, email and everything, color gray, and we are done. We also can dynamically provide value to this drop down menu, whereas we do not have any onsaved method in drop down menu. Thank you friends, thank you for watching this video. If you do understand how to use this form field in each and every Flutter project, then give like to my video, and if you want more videos on Flutter, on animation, then do subscription to my channel. Thank you friends, thank you for watching this video.